Okay, finally I'm going to look at how we can solve equations on the calculator. So, on the Casio, in your main menu you go to this equation solver. So we'll go to equation. And then you've got three options. So let's say I want to do question 1 here. This is a simultaneous equation. So I'm going to in here do simultaneous F1. And then it says how many unknowns have I got? Well, I've got an x and a y, so I've got 2 unknowns. And then what we need to do is, let me just delete all of the values that are in. So then what we need to do is, you can see here, a is the value in front of the x, b is the value in front of the y, and whatever it equals to as your number is the c. So for my first equation up here, I'm going to type in 2 for the coefficient of x, I'm going to type in 5 for my coefficient of y, and I'm going to type in 27 for my coefficient of c. And then my second equation, it's 3, 2, 13. And once you've got those in, all we need to do is solve it. So we're going to press solve. And that tells me that the answer is x equals 1, y equals 5. Done. If I want to do this second equation, just go back out of that. This is a polynomial. So a polynomial is anything that has, say, x squared, then x, and a number. It could be x cubed, x squared, x, a number. So this is a polynomial, f2. And the degree is the highest power of x. So the highest power of x here is 2, so it's a squared. And what you need to see here is that it needs to be equal to 0. So we've already got it equal to 0, that's fine. And then all we're doing is typing in the coefficients of x squared, x, and the number. So in this case, it's going to be 1, 1 minus 6. And then all we're going to do is solve that one. So 1, 1 minus 6, let's solve it. And it tells us we've got two answers, x is 2 or x is minus 3. And then for this last equation, so this one's slightly different. This one, it's not a polynomial, it's not an equation, it's not a simultaneous equation, so we just use this F3 solver one for this. And you can see I've already typed this in. Let's type it in again. So if I type in this equation, 5 to the power of x equals, so equals is just here above the decimal point, so you need to press shift and then equals, and it will come up, x plus 3. And then this will ask you for a guess here, so let me guess my answer is going to be about 5, it doesn't really matter. Lower bound, upper bound, and then solve. And that will come up with your solution of 0.835. This one's a bit strange because we don't know that there's only one solution here without doing lots of tests or trials. So another way of doing this equation, I would suggest, is that we draw a graph of it. So you go back into your graph, let me delete the one I had. We draw the graph of 5 to the power of x as one graph. We draw the graph of x plus 3 as my other graph. And you have a look at what they both look like. You can see now that there is, see where the crossing points are, can't you? So you can then say, if I'm going to look for any crossing points on that curve, I'm going to go to solve, I'm going to find any intersections they might have, and look, we found another solution. So one solution is x equals minus 2.99, and we can go across, and there'll be a solution there of 0.83, which we found last time. So that's a good way of just checking whether you've got all the solutions, rather than the equation solver is just to draw a graph of each side and look at where they're equal to each other or where they cross or intersect.